I built an audience of 427,000 followers because I thought that if more people were in my world, sales would become easy, the cash would be rolling in, and I could retire in a few years. But all that happened is I ended up with 426,000 broke people who would never ever buy my coaching services. And not just broke people that had no money, broke mindset people too. The kind of people that wanted free solutions to very expensive problems. They wanted handouts instead of hand holding. So if you have run into the same problem where nobody you speak to seems to be able to afford your coaching services, then in this video right here, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to stop attracting broke people and start attracting buyers instead. So the big problem with growing a massive audience is that it becomes more difficult than finding a needle in a haystack to find a buyer for your coaching program in your audience. You either waste all day in the DMs yourself, kind of just trying to disqualify people before they even see your offer, and then most people who actually do see your offer just end up saying they can't afford it or they ghost you, or else you hire a VA or a setter to be in your DMs all day long, which then just kills your profit margins. Kind of a lose-lose situation. Now, after almost 8 years of playing this online business game and a hell of a lot of mistakes along the way, I found that there are 5 important shifts that need to be made with your marketing to start attracting mostly buyers instead of just beggars. So let's go over each of these. There's 5 things that you need to stop doing and 5 better options that you should be doing instead. Principle number 1, stop talking to people who are just thinking about starting and instead talk to those who are already in motion. So in any market, whether it's health, wealth, relationships, the audience in that market generally consists of 3 different types of people. There's beginners, go-getters, and winners. Beginners are the people that are kind of just stuck on the couch, for lack of a better term. They're considering maybe doing something eventually, but they haven't taken any action yet. And beginners typically make up about 70% of any market, which is why so many coaches tend to gravitate towards this part of the market, because it's very easy to get their attention because there's so many people in this chunk of the market, right? But beginners are also typically brokies. They're either financially broke or they have a very broke mindset. Despite wanting to make a change, they're still stuck on the couch. They haven't started yet. So that makes them very difficult to sell or get them to take action. Go-getters, on the other hand, are people who have already begun to take action. They've already started to make a change. They've already started doing something on their own, even if it's the wrong thing. And they're actively attempting to make progress. They might have even got some results already on their own or made some progress on their own as well. Go-getters are great people to sell to, and they're much easier to make the sale from than beginners. And typically, what gets the sale from go-getters is that they just need to be offered a better solution or a different solution from what they've already been doing. If you can show them that there's a better path to their goal, they'll buy from you. And go-getters typically make up about 20% of the market share. Lastly are winners. So winners are the people that have already been successful on their own. They've already achieved the thing that the majority of the beginners are still dreaming about. But the winners, they're at a point now where they're chasing the next level of growth or the next achievement in their journey. And again, winners are an excellent group to sell to because they've already invested themselves, very likely with a coach in the past, and they understand the real value in getting help and support and coaching. And winners typically make up about 10% of the total market share. So if you want to stop attracting brokies, you need to start talking to that top 30% of the market, the go-getters and the winners. And then if you start speaking to them and you stop speaking to the beginners, you'll start attracting buyers and repelling the brokies. Principle number 2 is to stop giving value and teaching in your content and instead start shifting beliefs. If all you're teaching is stuff that can be answered on Google or ChatGPT in 10 seconds, then you're going to attract the people that are too lazy to do that search themselves. And lazy people are typically broke people. Now, the reason that so many coaches get caught in this trap is because we've all been sold the lie that if we provide more value for free than our competitors charge for, that people will want to buy from us instead. But this is 100% bullshit. All this does is it teaches your audience that there's no reason that they ever have to pay you because you're helping them solve their problems for free. Broke people are out there looking for tips and tricks and hacks and secrets and any information that they can use for mental masturbation because to them, information gathering feels like progress. But go-getters and winners know that that's not true. So if you want to start attracting and speaking to buyers, start talking about and sharing content around your philosophy, your principles, and your beliefs. Essentially, what you want to do is you want to kind of use your content to become the light version of a coach for your audience. So instead, your content should be about talking about the why rather than the how-to advice. Because buyers want to know how you think. They want to know how you think differently than everybody else. They don't want the coach that just regurgitates all the fluff that can be found on Google or ChatGPT. Principle number 3 is to stop relying on going viral and only using organic content and instead start using more ads. The reason this is important is because even if we are saying the right things, even if we're talking to the right people with our content, the social media algorithms are completely out of our control. This was a very, very big problem in my last business. For some reason, Instagram was showing my content to audiences that consisted of mostly 90% plus viewers in the Middle East, where simply due to currency conversion rates, none of those people were ever going to be able to afford my prices, which were in US dollars. So it completely fucked my chances of getting any results out of my organic content. We can fix all that by using ads. Using ads gives us 100% control over who sees our content, so we can direct our content towards audiences that have a much higher likelihood of being buyers. Principle number 4 is to stop giving away free stuff and start giving away deeper insights into your philosophy and your principles instead. Giving away highly valuable lead magnets that help your prospects kind of solve all their problems on their own only attracts freebie seekers, not those who are willing to invest in themselves. The typical lead magnets like cheat sheets, in-depth guides, mini programs, step-by-step instructions, they make people feel like they have the full solution. It makes them feel like they have enough instructions to go try it on their own and probably be successful. So it moves people further away from a buying decision. Instead, what we want to use for lead magnets are actually videos just like this one right here, where I'm teaching my philosophy and some principles around an idea, not giving away a complete solution. And the bonus is, with these type of lead magnets, when you use these long form videos, it gets your prospects spending more time with you, sort of like face-to-face time with you, which builds massive amounts of trust as well. And you can use these long form philosophy lead magnets the exact same way that you would use any other sort of lead magnet as well. You tease about it in your posts, your stories, your email list to get your audience to engage with you in exchange for access to this video deep dive. Simple as that. And that is going to work much better for attracting buyers and pushing away the brokies who are kind of just looking for quick fix, easy free stuff. Principle number 5 is to stop selling the features of your coaching program and start selling the path to success. Broke people focus on features and small, meaningless details because broke people tend to attach value to the number of features that are included with any purchase. They want tons of lessons, of different features, program options, a million levels of accountability, Zoom calls, check-ins, tons of bonuses. But the thing is, no matter how much stuff you included in your offer to try and increase the value, the perceived value, it's never ever going to be enough to justify the prices that you want to charge to the broke person or the beginner. Now, buyers, on the other hand, don't really care about features. They don't care what's included as long as it gets them to the outcome that they're after. So what is much more important to buyers is how you're going to get them the outcome. So if you want your offer to appeal to buyers, you need to showcase your unique model or your unique strategy that you're going to use to help them get the results that you're promising. That is what's going to make them interested in buying from you. And to take this kind of one step further, don't only sell the dream outcome or the end goal. Brokies and beginners love to chase the dream outcome because they're the dreamers, right? They only care about the top of the mountain because that fantasy gives them the hope. It gives them the motivation to chase after that. Now, buyers do also care about the top of the mountain goal too, but they're much more interested in prioritizing the next milestone along the way to that top of the mountain goal, especially when it's positioned like this. So if you're trying to appeal to a buyer, you would say, if you've already achieved X, here's how I'm going to help you achieve Y in the next 30 days to get you one step closer towards your top of the mountain goal. That's going to speak much more clearly to the go-getters and the winners rather than the beginners who haven't achieved anything yet. And that's really it. Those are the 5 shifts that you need to make if you want to start attracting more buyers and pushing away or repelling the broke people. It's much more about principles than it is about strategy or tactics. There really isn't any big secret to attracting buyers and pushing away the brokies. It really just comes down to changing your language that you use and making sure that you're speaking to the right people in a way that repels the wrong people, which honestly is kind of like marketing 101. But I think a lot of coaches get caught up in chasing the views and the vanity metrics, and they kind of slowly move in the wrong direction, and they start talking to the wrong people because it gets more attention, it gets more engagement and more followers, but it doesn't get more sales or money in the bank, which is really the number one goal with a business, right? So just start speaking to the go-getters and the winners, start shifting beliefs in your content, use ads to get more targeted reach, share more philosophy and principles, sell specific milestones and outcomes in your offers. And if you follow these principles here, you will start getting a hell of a lot less "I can't afford it" in your DMs. And if you found this helpful, I think you're going to love this deep dive right here into my business model that I've used with my clients to scale to 250K plus per year with no sales calls, no team, and only about 4 hours of work per day.